Alright, so basically I'm just checking out some settings for the Open Broadcaster software, or OBS Studio everybody's been using right now for live streaming, because it works, it's simple, it's light. They just did another update to 16.5 for Windows, and for me it'd be more like a streamcasting thing or screencasting or webinars or something, but a lot of people use it for gaming, so you can check that out. These settings here, I'm just playing with the lighting situation for this particular webcam that I just put up. If you're using just like a USB webcam and not any other more fancy camera. So let's see here. So I'm just going through making sure these settings are saved in the actual stream here. And add stream, okay, cool. Watching. Got my own command center here. Gotta make sure everything's right. Not really, but we'll be covering a little bit of, where's it at here? So the webcam, when we put these settings up, we want these settings. We're going to adjust the lighting a little bit. With this particular lighting situation, it's just a light bulb on a stand. The same stand that's right here. This one just doesn't have a light bulb on it. And a little bit of window light. So very two mixed sources of lighting. One very blue, one very orangey. Webcam does its best to white bounce. So that's pretty good. Not that it has to be perfect or anything, and I don't think anybody really cares, but if you're just jumping in and you want to make it look a little bit better, here's what we can do. So in the software side, you would cam inception here for a second. You would add your webcam or add a USB display device, and then you just click on the little settings button. So that comes up. And then we would actually configure video. Click configure video. Pretty simple there. Nothing gets hidden behind everything. So here we are there. Monitoring on one channel and then doing it on the other channel. There we go. We want this to be brought forward though, and this to be zoomed in. I wonder if we can do that. Zoom in on something. There we go. Maybe. Perhaps. Make that real big. Move this over here. I don't know. Just playing around with this live stuff. Seeing what we can and can't do. The scene editor here from OBS is on the other monitor. I can move that around a little bit. Move this around right here. Do like a side-by-side thing though. Here we go. Alright, so anyways. So here we have the software. I'll just pretend that's me because I can see me, but it's behind there and whatnot. Alright, so I have two different monitors, so it gives me two different displays. Not really sure which one's more accurate. The one on the left is showing more orange, one on the right's a little bit more blue. They're not calibrated by any means. So what I'm going to do though is I'm just looking at my highlights here. So here on my cheeks, I'm using my mouse, and I think you can even see the mouse. So here on my cheeks, they're blown out a little bit right here from this light. Do two things. I can pull that light back some physically if I have the cord and space to do it, or I'm just going to work from gain and up. So I always start with my gain all the way down for the video, because if you don't, it can really mess things up. You can boost the gain, and it does nothing. I wonder if it doesn't change when it's live. It should. Let's cancel that. Cancel that. Configure video. Could just be making a fool of myself right now. Sharpness, nothing. Oh, there we go. That changes. Gain, no, that doesn't do anything. White bounce says about 30 900 kelvins. Can I change that? Yeah, see, it's changing. But the actual gain, not much going on there. Good. It was before. Brightness. So just to show you, sliders all the way left. There we go. Sliders all the way left. Camera control, exposure. There we go. That's what I want to play with. Low light compensation. I'm going to turn low light compensation off. I'm going to apply. Because I don't want it to try to automatically boost it. It's going to make it a little bit more grainy. And we'll go back here. No backlight. Let's go ahead and bring up the brightness. Video gain. So that's where that's all that. As with low light, I do want to drop my exposure. So negative, so 0 exposure, aperture's closed, opening it up some to the left. So it's not very bright in here, so I wouldn't want low light composition. I would just actually try to light for the subject, personally. A lot of people don't care, maybe it's not a thing, you know? That right there is pretty good. I think it was on -8 before. But you can see the highlights right there are blown out now, right? And this side. So I'm going to bring that down 2 stops. Apply that. Go back over to video program amp, whatever that means. Okay, now that's making a difference. So my gain, if I boost it all the way up, depending on the actual quality, that's not really HD, so it doesn't actually matter. You can see it's a little bit grainy if you have a high def feed. In this case, it doesn't. So I wouldn't really put the gain up much. Maybe about right there is probably more accurate to the lighting situation. There's no backlighting here, so I'm not sitting with a window behind me. If you're sitting with a window behind you, that backlight compensation would help a lot. The white balance, if I go all the way left or all the way right, you can see here is 10,000. If I'm in shade but it's outside. So I have mixed shadow, basically. So right about here would probably be in between, or is doing it before automatically. It's not bad. Maybe a little bit warmer. Sharpness. Don't really care. It's a grainy, soft situation. Instagram that. See, now you can see all the grain. So if you never played with these, I'd actually probably drop down that saturation a bit. Don't need to really boost it right there a little bit. Contrast is going to give you that color casting across the screen right there. If you ever played with Photoshop or anything, you can do a little S-curve. Kind of deepens the shadow some. And then the brightness. So that is probably the most accurate besides white balance for the lighting situation. Pretty dark. So here, I can move the light in front and blah, blah, blah. But really, just if you want a good lighting thing, you got to play with it. Gain around. That probably had no help at all whatsoever. With no explanations. Just sliding it around and makes it look good. Pretty what's the word I'm looking for? Self-explanatory. Gain. It's going to boost it up and down, right? Your photo. More grain to the right, left. Not much. Backlight. We don't have an example for that because I don't have any light source behind me turned on. And the camera's not as good as your eye. So whatever you see, it's probably like half that in the room. So if you want good lighting, you're going to need to boost some lights and bounce them out. Might not be necessary for what you want to do, or sit in front of a window and have the camera facing you with the window behind the camera. I always lower the saturation some. Good. You can also separate yourself from not a dark background too. That always helps. And if you boost the exposure, like crack open the iris all the way, that's not too bad. And then we would go back and adjust a little bit of the sharpness. Not too much. It's a little blurry. Alright. So something like that would be pretty good. In my eyes, anyways. I can look on a high def screen, it might look like total crap. So who knows? So that is playing with the lighting controls and stuff for your webcam with the Open Broadcaster software. Your webcam's going to be different. This is just a $25, now $25 Logitech Pro 9000. Old, but good. Still good quality webcam, and I can get it for 25 bucks. So not HD completely. I think the resolution, what did it say right here? 1600 by 1200. So it's not even 720 is your max. You're not going to get 1080 out of the picture and whatnot. So you don't want to do any more than 1200 by this, but that's more than plenty for this particular situation. Cool.